Good morning, and today I am taking the brief introduction of the administrative law, which is a part of our curriculum. And administrative law means we have to analyze into administration plus law. If these two are there, then that is be called as a administrative law. To understand the administrative law, we have to understand the public administration and also the law. As you know that India is one of the largest democracies in the world, where we have the written constitution is there, which is one of the bulkiest constitution in the world, having around 445 articles divided into 12 schedules. And day by day also it is becoming a bulky and bulky. Where in this document it has been clearly classified that the extent of powers each organ will enjoy. As you know that we have principally there are three organs are there to the government. One is the legislature, the second is the executive, and third is the judiciary. And the legislature deals with the making of the laws, preparation of the laws, amending the laws, repealing the laws. And the members of it, they are directly elected by the electorates by direct franchise in the elections. Whereas the second organ, executive organ, its main duty is to execute the decisions made by legislature. A popular governments come to power by making a different promises, and it's a duty of that the government to the party to implement such decisions. For that they make the law, policies, and that is to be implemented by the bureaucrats. That is they be called as a executives. Again, there are division of bureaucrats are there from top level to the bottom level in the government sector. Then third organ is the judiciary. Judiciary plays very vital role in the upholding the rights of the citizens and also sometimes non-citizens, aliens. If the legislature or executive, they try to encroach upon their domain, they cause any sort of hardships or problems upon the citizens, sometimes non-citizens, they can go to the court of law from the top level, apex court, Supreme Court, to the lower level, that is the judicial civil judges or first class magistrates. So different channels of hierarchy of courts are there in India, and the main duty is to protect the rights and of the citizens. So like this, then though there are three broad parameters are there, but in addition to that, we have laws are there, number of laws are there, that has to be effectively implemented properly. You know, Lord Acton, the famous jurist, had stated that power corrupts and absolute powers corrupts absolutely. When a person is interested with some power, definitely human beings, they have the tendency to befall to that power. When absolute power is given, then there is a absolute corruption also be there. So there should be check and balances in each system. Then in case of the legislature, we have the check and balances, like the different committees are there in the parliament, assemblies, and at the local level, it may be estimates committee, business rules committees, ethics committees. So all those committees, they will look after the how the organization is functioning, and they also prescribe that the organization should not cross the limits. If it crosses the limits, then it will have the check and balance in form of the committees. They will check. In case of executives also, they have check and balances. Like the confidential reports every year of the each employee will be prepared and will be sent to the higher authorities. So it is a kind of a check and balance. In judiciary also, subordinate courts like district courts to below courts, they are under the control of the High Court. Then all the High Courts are under control of the Supreme Court, which is apex court of the land. And to have maintained the sanctity in the appointments and to see the functioning of the courts, including Supreme Court, we have the colloquium, we have the colloquium. Colloquium is there that will look after the issues. So if we come to the basic topic of the day, that is a administrative law. So administrative law is nothing but law which pertains to administration is called as a administrative law. We could be seeing the administration in all these three organs, from the legislature to the judiciary, where different forms of administration is there. Maybe there may be a change of nomenclature, but there are administrative procedures have been prescribed to in the parliament, in the executive authorities, and in case of the judiciary also. So administrative law plays very important role in the carrying out the programs at the different levels of the administration. Then without that we cannot survive. If the administration is strong, then the system will survive. If the administration is wrong, administration is not so strong, having loopholes, system may collapse. So with that view, administrative law plays very important role in any sort of government, whether it is a democratic government, whether it is a aristocratic government, whether it is a monarchy, a military, whatever it may be, where administrative law plays very predominant role that we have to understand. So the administrative law is not a recent phenomenon. If you go back to our Hindu periods, Ardhashastra, the famous treatise on economics and political science, there also there is a mentioning of the administrative law. And if you refer to any kingdom which have been evaluated in India, everywhere the system of administration is found. So what are the role of the king? What are the role of the prime minister? What are the roles of the subordinate staff? So all those things have been found centuries together in our country. And if the people have the problem, whom they have to approach, earlier there was a system that if anyone is having any problem, they have been approaching the king. Why? Because he be considered as a head. He will have the absolute power, and his words will be sway over all the people whom he is ruling. So he has a single man, he is controlling the entire aspects of the state. So that became a very problematic to him, very burdensome upon him. And to avoid it, he has started distribution of the power. He is appointed ministers, he is appointed chief ministers, he appointed the armed forces chief. So it is nothing but a delegation of the power. And supreme power in hands of him, but he delegated much of his power to different folds. So it is nothing but the administrative principle of administrative law. So since when we have seen the evolution of a tribe, a clan, heads were selected. Since then, we have the administrative law is visible, is apparent. So, without administrative law, we cannot run any organization. So, for running of any organization or achieving of any goals, we require the administration as well as we require the law also. Without that, we cannot do anything. So this is with regard to brief introduction of the administrative law. Thank you.